EnglishTim here. I'm continuing my Ultimate Fighting Guide, and today I am covering spells and raid style skills. I'm also covering a really important element, which is temporary relics and permanent relics. Now, everyone can definitely use temporary relics. They cost gold, but they're definitely very, very powerful. So join me for that part of this session on the Ultimate Fighting Guide. If you are enjoying my content, please do click on that subscribe button and on the notification bell to receive updates about my future videos so you know what's coming up, and it does help to support me in growing this channel. Now the query is, are you going to make any upgrades, or do any rebalancing of your gear, dismantling some gear and making it fresh with other gear? That's something that you can consider on both types of accounts, and I've got a note here on Lunar that you might want to change your terms of war to focus more on one type than the other. So you're going to be sending more cavalry than you are bowmen. You can put more of your tomes towards cavalry than bowmen, vice versa. You can always play with that. And you can also deconstruct and reconstruct your artifacts and other gear. Just be really careful when you're rebalancing your gear that you don't destroy something you've got from an honor chest and you don't get any tomes back. So if you need tomes to build it, make sure you get tomes out when you dismantle your gear. If you don't, you're going to lose an item, which is a real big heartache. So make sure you're very careful when using that approach. Now you've got alliance spells as well. I will take you to my Lunar account as we don't have spells available on my Solar account yet. So on my Lunar account, if I go to the map, you'll be able to see spells here. And there's a whole range of different attack spells and defensive spells, so I won't go through any more detail in these now, but you can have a quick scan through and see which ones you're interested in if you're in charge of the spells. I would suggest discussing with your alliance how you're going to use them. Building up spell points takes a really long time, and you don't want to just start blowing off spells left, right and centre. You'll find you don't have any spell points left, and you may need it for this really important one is at the start of an event. If people have forgotten to shield, you can buy them 4 hours of peace before they then have to get online and shield. So this is a very important one for helping out those people who've not quite got prepared for the event. So, as noted, the attack defense categories there for alliance spells. You've also got the Frozen Light capability with the raid scrolls. So if I take you to the raid now, so in Raid Mastery, you can see all the different Raid Mastery skills that you're able to use. So you can stop lords from being teleported for up to 30 minutes. That's a powerful one for if you're able to bring in some big dogs to come and take people down. It can be quite painful if they're stuck and not able to go anywhere. And you can stop lords from sending marches. There are a few different things you can use. And you can use a devastating strike to force somebody out of your territory and send them home. So that's something to consider actually when you're attacking yourself, that these spells could be used against you. So if you do teleport into someone's territory, then it gives them a lot more things they can use against you. So keep that in mind, that if you are right in the middle of their territory, they could send you home. Now, this is a very quick point, but the king may also apply some different skills from the kingdom skills section. So that's something that if you are a king, keep it in mind. You're unlikely to see too many of these, but you may get forced teleported and the like, depending on the event. So there are things that you can use as the king. Now, temporary relics. These are really important actually. If you've got enough gold, and when you first start out, just as a side, it can be quite difficult to get hold of gold, but it gets easier the more you play the game. So later on in the game, you'll be seeing lots of players who are spending a lot more gold than you were. That's fine. I say you'll find it gets easier, especially some big events that are released are giving away lots of extra gold. So on my older account, I've got hundreds of thousands of gold, and my new account, I've got tens of thousands. You can start to accumulate it, especially if you don't spend it all willy-nilly. So if you try and make sure you focus on using your gold when you really need it, you can start to build up decent amounts. And if you're spending a lot of money, then you should have a lot of gold anyway. So temporary relics, that is definitely something worth considering. That's in your Lord, and it's this slot here. Now there are temporary relics on deal from time to time, so Dragon Blade here, that's a great item to have. It gives you the benefit of having a dragon in your city, even if your dragon is out fighting. So that's a huge win, and you also get some stat boosts as well. So keep your eyes peeled for these deals. Otherwise, if you go to the store, these are the standard prices. So if you're attacking, you want to consider the Crown of Command, which will add 15% to your march capacity. So you can buy that relic and then equip it. Key point is, after you've bought a relic, it doesn't immediately equip. It's so easy to forget that. You buy it and think, awesome, I've now got a dragon idol. And somebody attacks you and your dragon idol is sat doing nothing whatsoever. Until you equip it, it will do nothing. So dragon idol is a lot like the dragon blade. It will give you the benefits of your dragon whilst you're out. It doesn't also have the 15% boosts, so that's why it's a lot cheaper than the dragon blade. I think for the lower spenders, dragon idol is worth targeting. Dragon blade, the benefits possibly aren't worth it. It's more beneficial on solar than on lunar though, so the stat boost for that on solar is comparatively better than it is on solar. So if we go to the temporary relics here, you can see the prices are all the same and the boosts are the same. And actually on solar, your stats are much lower than on lunar. So actually this is proportionally a more cost-effective item than it is in the lunar kingdoms. Now once you've got the Crown of Command, you can use both the Crown of Command and the Dragon Idol or Dragon Blade. So what you would do is equip the Crown of Command, send your march, and once it's out, you can then switch to your Dragon Idol or your Dragon Blade, and that way you get the benefits of both. You do need to buy both, but then you do get a massive improvement in your fighting abilities. So, Crown of Command to maximize your troops, and the Dragon Blade and the Idol. Now, the one interesting note I put here is, if you've just started out and you're buying the Dragon Idol, Dragon Blade, and you're sending out 150,000 troops, and you've only got 10,000 troops left, in all honesty, your idol's not going to do very much. If you're massively outgunned, you have to have enough troops to make it worthwhile. I wouldn't say spending 3.5 or 21,000 gold if you've only got a handful of troops left in your city makes much sense. So only use these items if you've got a decent army at home, having already sent out when you're sending out your best march to attack. Temporary accolades, this only applies to Lunar so far. It may come into Solar as well. So if you go to the Undead Trader, then you're able to see that you can get hold of 4 temporary accolades that provide a very substantial boost. So army damage, 10%. And then you get some infantry damage benefits as well, cavalry and bowmen. Now it's always worth buying those, make sure you equip them. What I do is I just buy and equip them immediately. It's once a week and it lasts for a week, so that way you just constantly have them running. And just as an aside, if you are a spender, it's worth considering a subscription. I personally don't subscribe, however, there are plenty of players who do. So you can find that in the War Aid Center, and then the subscription here. You can see that you get a Sanctum Capacity 100% boost for when that event, when that is applying. It's a lot less common now that troops will go to Sanctum than when I first started playing. Soul Conversion, 10% boost, and then a March Capacity boost of 1000. So, I am EnglishTim. If you're enjoying my content, please do click that subscribe button and on the notification bell to receive updates about my future videos. It does help support me in getting more of this content out there for you guys. Now, also, if you've got any questions, you can check out the comments down below in YouTube, or if you are trying to use Discord, that's a great way of sending screenshots and more detail. So I'd say that's a great way of getting hold of me. I'm EnglishTim, #2230. Also, if you do want to help support to get me to make more of those videos, then donating would be really great. Thank you if you do donate. It's the link in the description, and hopefully that's easy enough to follow that. However, let me know if you've got any questions on that process. Now, the next video in this series is going to be how to choose your battlefield. Where do you fight? When do you fight? Should you fight in your castle? Should you be going out and attacking people? Should you be going after towers? Should you be taking on mines? There's so many different ways that you can get to the enemy, and yeah, should you try and get them to come to your house, attack you behind your walls? So let's cover that in the next part of the course.
King of Avalon, play now.